We have another. Hi. Hello.
Can hear you.
Welcome to the show, Farah Ismail. I'm very happy to welcome you for the session on WEF 2021. Farah is the founder principal of Interact Consulting India and will give us a short look into the topic Reimagine Your Business, 3 steps to a purpose-driven enterprise. Farah, WEF is very happy to confer the E Award, Exceptional Leader of Excellence, which will reach you within a fortnight. Welcome, Farah. I hand over the session to you.
Thank you, Sukanya. Can you hear me clearly?
Sure. Yes, go on.
It's awesome to be with you, and a warm hello to wherever you are in the world, and this is to everyone who's watching. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be at the Annual Women Economic Forum 2021, and thank you for showing up today. It's an exciting day. So Kanya, as you already introduced me, my name is Farah Ismail, and I help entrepreneurs, leaders, and organizations to reimagine their business and their careers. And in this lightning WEF talk, I want to share 3 steps to a purpose-driven enterprise. Now, before I get into that, I want to share a little bit of who I am and how I began to create this for myself. I'm going back to 2006. It was the summer of 2006 when I made the biggest decision of my life. I had been married for 12 years. I was unhappy. It was an unhealthy marriage. And it was a summer afternoon in June when I finally decided to walk away. And I packed up my car with nothing but a computer and my daughter, and we drove away. I didn't look back, because I didn't want that image to magnify and the past to hold me back. I left everything behind. I will always remember how I felt in that moment. Honestly, I was terrified and felt empty. I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I just knew I had to start all over again. So we started a whole new life for ourselves, and we literally had to reimagine what our lives together was going to be. And that involved me to start my business, Interact Consulting. And fast forward to today, I have established myself as an internationally recognized facilitator, coach, and speaker, and I partner with organizations, leaders, change makers, high-level executives. When they work with me, they reimagine their business and their careers, and they craft a lucrative, purpose-driven enterprise that delivers more clarity, more confidence, more meaning. And today I wanted to share a few things that I have learned on this journey myself. So buckle your seatbelts because this is going to be fast. I also have some awesome resources that I'd like to back up with what I'm going to share. So please feel free to connect with me on the platform or connect with me on LinkedIn after the session. So step number 1 that has really worked for me is shift your perspective. Have you noticed that there are times when we start using our imagination to make things worse than they are? And we start looking at challenges as really big mountains or roller coasters, huge obstacles. So I really get inspired by a quote by Wayne Dyer who says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And your perspective, I believe, changes everything. Because I think there is a gift and a lesson in everything we experience, both the great things in life and even the low points in our life. So what we look at is not nearly as important as how we look at it. So what's the problem with this, not using our perspective correctly? The problem with that is people stop using their imagination. And they get stuck in their business or in their work. And what happens is nothing is moving forward. You become stagnant, you don't enjoy your work, and then you have the highs and lows, just like a roller coaster. And the problem is when people start seeing, they 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 don't see the learning or the gift. They start to focus on what's not working for them and they magnify it, and the roller coaster begins again. Anyone feel the highs and lows of a roller coaster? In my experience, I have had the thrill of the highs and even the blows of being really, really down. I'm sure everyone can relate with that. Put yes in the chat if you can relate. I can tell you that if you are experiencing this, ignoring it is not going to help, but you can shift it. So what is one thing you can do? If you start looking at things, for me, what really worked is the lesson. Every time I looked at what's the gift from this, and I was able to gain momentum and move forward. And I started focusing on things that were working for me and not magnifying the things that did not work. So I want to ask you, what is that one thing you can shift your perspective on right now in your life or your business? Take 30 seconds and consider what is that something right now that you can relate to what we're talking, and you can shift your perspective. What can you look at for the lesson or the gift in what's happening? Don't you feel the energy changing even with that little shift in your focus? Isn't that a more exciting conversation to have with yourself? I truly believe that your business can only get as big as you imagine your life. So continue to dare to dream and start thinking about what are some ways that you can focus on your perspective and look at what are you looking at. When I met one of my clients a year ago, she was all over the place. She was not happy with what she had. And even if that job was what she had dreamed of. So we rolled up our sleeves and dug in to look at what do you really want? What will light you up? And it turned out she was focusing on what was not working or not going her way. And she wasn't seeing all the amazing things that was going right for her. Can you imagine that small thing that we shone a light on? We shifted her perspective. We created a new plan, and within 6 months, she called me to share some amazing results that she had experienced with her team, the impact she was having in her region. It was something so small, but it can have a massive impact. So I'd like to invite you to think that your perspective can change everything. So, step number 2, connections. You are not alone. Why is this important? So, the reason this is important is because many people try to do this alone. They don't realize that they have connections around them, and it is never more important today as it is before than to use your connections. And people think that it's weak to ask for help. It really makes it way harder to continue doing what you're doing if you have that mindset. And if there's one thing that I've learned in 25 years of experience, it is this: connections are at the heart and the core of everything. And today, more than ever, we need deeper and authentic connections. The pandemic has given us so many opportunities to open our heart, to connect across the globe. Make the most of those connections you have. And you will notice that people are waiting, they're leaning in to support you. And you have a network also who are doing the same for you. While you lift other people up, they're waiting to lift you up. So instead of thinking of you don't have the things you need, you have them all at your fingertips. Doing this alone is not an option. So I love this quote that I heard from Joseph Campbell. The cave you enter has the treasures you seek. The cave you fear to enter has the treasures you seek. Now, I want to say sometimes that cave looks very dark when we look at our business, when we're stuck, we're struggling. It looks very, very dark. And we feel that the roller coasters are all around us. We are in the lowest point, and you dare not turn on the switch of hope and light. But I want to say that the path can be lit, and you can see the people following you and who are ahead of you. So that's what really gives a lot of meaning and purpose in what you do. So I want to pause and ask you, where do you want to be braver in your business, in your life? What connections do you have available to you? Because nothing you have done is not done before. So there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. So let's use our connections to reimagine our business and create more confidence. And as you're growing your business, we will experience what we're experiencing now. We have uncharted territory, the uncertainties that we experience all the time. You'll notice that people are a phone call away. How much confidence will you feel if you just pick up the phone? How much impact will you create in your business? How much money will you make? How much success will you feel? I want to invite you to just pause here and open up your phone or your computer. Look at the list of people. I want to say that it's not about doing this alone. I want you to recognize that you have people all around you. They're counting on you. And that's what it's all about. Point number 2 is the second step is leverage your networks. Think about who are the people you can lean in, because that's going to give you confidence and courage. Yeah. And you start thinking, who are the customers you have not yet met? What are the collaborations you've not yet forged? What are the sales you've not yet made? I want to say these gifts are available for you to grow. So, what connections have you not utilized up to this point? I'd like you to think of that as we pause here. And that's really where I'm looking at the top 2 steps that have really helped me to reimagine my life. And if I had to think about the third one, it's really about looking at meaning. What is the purpose that you have in your life?
Thank you, Farah, for the deep, insightful message that you've given us. It's not
Sorry,
only.
I'm just experiencing a challenge. I'm trying to put on my video. I haven't closed the talk. Just give me a couple of.
You have 1 more minute to go. Why don't you continue? We can hear you.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So I just noticed that I had a challenge in my network. And of course, as you said, I have 1 minute more. I just want to share with everyone that the 3 steps I was talking about really is about shifting your perspective. The second thing was connections matter. So lean into your networks. And the third is find meaning, find the purpose. And that's really what I do is I support you in finding finding this really quickly and accelerate your journey. So I'm really excited that I'm able to share a couple of things that have worked for me, and happy to share some resources at the end of this as well. I'm sorry I had a challenge, so I wasn't able to complete this, but please feel free to connect with me if you'd like to know more. Yeah, I'll see you on the chat.
Thank you, Farha, for that insightful. It not only gives us tips to build our business, but also oneself too. I think we need more time to get into your subject and topic. Anyway, thanks for giving us a glimpse today. Thank you from WEF and everybody on the panel. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Really excited to see the rest of the talks, and happy to share all the, all the talks, all that I was trying to share later. Thanks. Thank you, Sukanya. I see that I'm still live. Do I have time to share my third point?
I think we're going to stop in a bit.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.